But we did find out we are getting a WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match between Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, and The Miz. As announced by Shane McMahon, I'm not even exactly sure why Shane was on the show. The first time we've seen him since, I think, the Raw Underground stuff. He may have appeared after that for something that I'm not... I know he was at Survivor Series for the Taker thing, but other than that, he has not been on the show in many, many months. I don't think he was advertised unless I didn't see it, and maybe he was, I don't know. But yeah, Shane showed up, announced the match, and we're getting this 6-man chamber match between only former WWE champions. And even with that logic, dude, The Miz should not be in this match. And I'm the biggest Miz fan in the world. The Miz should not be in this match. Based off the booking alone, even Jeff Hardy should not be in this match. For all the losses this guy's endured at the hands of Elias and Jackson fucking Riker, I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, especially with a guy like Miz, after losing to Damian Priest a week earlier, to then put him in contention for the WWE Championship is just completely mind-boggling to me. And it is only former WWE champions, and The Fiend is still dead technically, so that's why he's not in there. I don't know what's going on with Braun Strowman. He came back a few weeks ago. He wasn't on Raw last week. He wasn't on Raw this week. He's not a former WWE champion. He is a former Universal champion. But, yeah, so again, I think this will be a great match on paper, but the whole former WWE... I mean, even with that logic, they should have put Kofi Kingston in there. But, I don't know, I just felt like the announcement was very flawed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I understand the parameters around it. They want to say WWE champions and make it seem like a bigger match, but
yeah.
With The Miz and Jeff Hardy, just them alone, they both have been losing a lot lately. They don't mean much. I mean, Sheamus has been doing great stuff. Same with Drew and Randy Orton. I mean, who else is even in it?
So, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, McIntyre, Sheamus, Miz, and Hardy. And Styles. I'm sorry, Styles.
I was going to say, and AJ makes sense because AJ's been on a roll, but, why not put Bobby in there? Maybe they don't want Bobby to lose, but, I think he deserves it more. I know, obviously, it's champion, but even if you're going to go with those standards, like you said, Kofi should be in it over Jeff Hardy and The Miz. I mean, Keith Lee. I mean, obviously not a WWE champion, but I would replace Jeff Hardy and The Miz with who the hell was I supposed to say? Kofi and Keith Lee alone. I mean,
Keith Lee, okay.
I mean, they've been doing better. I like Jeff Hardy, but I feel like he's just been such a, I don't even say a loser, just an underachiever lately, and then The Miz has been just like a complete loser, so... It's nice, but I don't know, it doesn't make too much sense.
I mean, by that logic alone, with the whole wins and losses mattering, which they don't in this company more often than not, why not? I mean, I wouldn't have done this, but if you're going to have Priest beat Miz, shouldn't Priest be in the chamber and have a great showing and defeat? You know what I mean? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, but you're talking about a company that makes no sense, so... Yeah. I mean, it totally makes sense, but obviously it's not...
Yeah, no, exactly. And I saw people saying, oh, the youngest person in the match aside from McIntyre is The Miz, and he's 40 years old. I don't really care about age. These guys are all stars for the most part. It's not really an age thing. I saw people saying, oh, the lowest, the youngest person in the men's Rumble was 30-something years old. I don't really give a shit about age. I don't want to see a bunch of 19-year-olds in there, but... It's just a matter of making new stars and what makes sense. If it makes sense, then I'm fine with it. The men's Rumble, I wasn't thinking, oh, there's all these old people in here. I don't give a shit. If it makes sense, I mean, obviously, young blood is key. I don't want to see Big Show and Kane in there. Kane was fine. Big Show, come on. Mark Henry, come on. But with the chamber itself, what do you think they're setting up here? Is it a Sheamus title? And I feel like it almost has to be, because otherwise, why would you do this for the championship unless we're getting a championship changing hands here?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't want Drew to lose in this. I mean, I guess, technically he doesn't, I don't know, I guess, but, I just don't think Drew, because I feel like if Drew loses here, they'll do him and Sheamus at WrestleMania again, and Drew will get the belt back.
Yeah, that's what I figure they do.
Yeah, but that's not stupid at that. What's it, it's the same thing they did with him and Orton. What's he going to drop the title for a month and get it right back? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't hate the idea, but, I don't know. I just don't know. Well, I think what would make more sense is if they just did a number one contenders chamber and had Sheamus win that. I mean, I think that just would have been better. But I think if they're putting the championship on the line, if you have McIntyre retain, then how the hell do you set up Sheamus and McIntyre for Mania otherwise? I want to see if it isn't, even if it doesn't go till WrestleMania and they do it at Fastlane, for example, Sheamus still needs something. I mean, the guy needs something. So I don't know. You don't like the idea though.
No, I mean, I guess I just think, like I said, I'd rather, if Sheamus is going to win the belt, I'd rather him wait till WrestleMania to win it, and then make it mean more, and like it'd be a bigger rub. Him just winning, like, because technically they could have McIntyre lose to someone else, and then he just win the belt from fucking The Miz or someone. Like, I don't know, like, I don't really love that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just like giving Sheamus a win, but like if he's not actually beating Drew, it doesn't really mean much to me.
What do you mean, their eventual singles match, you're saying?
Just like, yeah, I mean, like, if he say that Drew gets out, like, before Sheamus, like, just say that Drew gets out by somebody else, and then Sheamus just happens to go in and win it, like, I don't know, I just don't think it, like, means as much as if he just beat him one-on-one.
Yeah, well, no, the way that I see it going down is it coming down to Drew and Sheamus, because then Sheamus can go after Drew, beat Drew. What I would have done, I think it was dumb to do the turn when they did. Because, yeah, it was unexpected, but, like, not in a good way. Like, I felt it was a bit abrupt. And I know they've been building this up for months, but I don't know. I feel like you could have done the whole friendly competition thing in the match and then have Sheamus just go berserk on him and then turn heel or whatever. Or have Drew beat Sheamus via, like, a roll-up or whatever, and then Sheamus turns on him, and then you get to the Mania match. I feel like if you have him go heel already, which he already was a heel, but you know what I mean. If you have him turn on Drew and then lose at Chamber, he just looks like an ultimate loser. You know what I mean? Then there's, like, no reason to do the match. But I see what you're saying, though.
I mean, obviously, I think the turn, I feel like the turn was clearly done for a reason. I mean, maybe, I mean, maybe Drew wins on Elimination Chamber, and they do him and Brock. I mean, that's what's in the back of my mind. I just don't know why else you would turn Sheamus if that wasn't the end goal, was him and Drew at Mania. I mean, now I just think it's going to be Brock and Drew, and I don't know, like, maybe Sheamus wins, but then, I don't know, like, does Miz cash in? Like, I don't know. I'm also, he should not have the belt. Like, him having the briefcase is fucking stupid. He cashed and lost. Like, that's fucking stupid.
Where is this going?
Like, who knows? Exactly, so that's my point. Like, eventually he's going to have to cash in. I mean, I'd rather have him cash in on Sheamus than Drew, but, like, in reality, you shouldn't even have the briefcase because he already lost.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe, like I said, I think there's a better chance of Drew winning, and they do Drew and Brock at Mania, than Sheamus winning here, and then they do him and Drew. Because, like, him winning the belt, so what, is Sheamus going to hold the belt for a month and a half and just feud with Drew going into Mania? Like, them having, like, they've already faced a few times anyway, so, I wouldn't do that. It's just not, like, Mania should be fresh. Even though it's Lesnar, if they did Lesnar and McIntyre, at least it's a year or later, and, like, it's a rematch from a match before, like, that's fine. But I hate when they go into WrestleMania. It's like the third rematch or the second rematch of, like, a few. It's like they've already been feuding for months at this point. It's like, it's not fresh at all.
Unless it's the blow-off, I would be okay with that. I mean, it depends what it is. It's
I would rather.
Go ahead.
Do you want to? I would have rather just waited on the Sheamus turn and then done Sheamus and Drew at Mania, which they didn't do.
No, exactly. I would have waited to do the turn until here at Elimination Chamber or afterward or at the event itself. I don't know. I don't know how you can drag this out another 2 months with Sheamus, with him already having turned on Drew and then not do the match before then. I think you can. I just don't know if WWE will, if that makes sense.
I get it.